Scarlett need? Yeah, that's a close series. But does MaSa play the disruptor? Does he get in the middle of this and
Does he
break up
spoil
Destiny?
this? Does he change? Does he change the very fabric of reality itself?
The alternator. MaSa. Do you know MaSa backwards
Wasn't
is
supposed to
Sam?
exist in this timeline. What?
MaSa backwards is Assam.
You know what? Asm is a great
Asm.
Asm. Yeah, I'll take it. I see what you're trying to do there, though, Jeff.
Yeah.
And I still love you. In the bottom right, because In Control really hates introducing players, we have the Red Zarg. She is Scarlett.
Mark's be like, calm down, you guys, please. This is professional.
You guys are having too much fun. We need you to stop.
Just won $250,000.
And the guy who's got more SCVs going to the bottom of the map,
Oh,
it's MaSa. Are you showing his face? Is that a cute dog? Oh my God, it's a puppy golden retriever. I can't handle this.
they can't see it.
They can't see it on stream. That makes this rough. And here's the proxy.
So is it the same thing again?
Yeah, pretty much. Are those which ones are those? Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys can't see it. We're being assaulted with images of puppies.
Well,
And,
I like this because
Oh no, it's not the same. No, it's 3 racks. It's actually just ye old 3 racks Marine, probably SCV pull at some point all in. Which is nice.
I like the return to this though because you wouldn't expect it a second time, right? It's like, all right, I got away with that, and yeah, this is a different one, but the same premise, right? I have multiple barracks producing stuff coming at you.
Yep.
And Scarlett had an overload in that direction. She's just now seeing.
Okay, you see the SCV come from over here. Like,
You know? Well, I mean, now you know. Now you really know.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And
who
he's
was I watching
starting.
talk about this? I think it was. I literally talked about this, but I think the Muslim talked about how he puts that further back bunker as the safety fallback, and this is a
It's
3
so
barracks
good.
investment. So it's like
so
you're
smart.
all in on this. You got to kill the hatch.
Because pulling back to that bunker, like you still want to start a bunker within range of the hatchery. Like that's your dream scenario.
Does this one reach it?
No, this one shouldn't.
Oh, then I don't like it as much. But
I think he'll try to start another one just a little bit further ahead.
you do the juggle thing though. But
Yeah.
yeah, you should be ahead.
This SCV right here wants to get, there you go. That's the money bunker. I don't think this one's in range. I could be wrong, but this one's definitely in
I think you're right.
So the Marines are over here, 3 spine crawlers, but
Wow.
because he's got several SCVs, 3 SCVs should do the trick to repair. Yeah, that one's not in range. So 3 SCVs should do the trick. Anything else that he brings over should make it so the spines can't break this.
Third bunker.
And there's
Oh,
no
it's
reason
getting
not
speed.
to. You just keep building Marines. Can't salvage the one in the back.
She just has to go ravage. I feel. And anything she's investing in defending this right now is not going to work.
Cyril did a really good job of dealing with the proxy Marine play yesterday, and Scarlett is struggling a little bit because she's just trying to overwhelm it. Whereas Cyril would just say, yeah, you can have the natural. I'm going to go right into Ravagers and blow everything up, counterattack, and win the game because I'm just better than you.
Okay, that spine right there is out of range, but now he can just come out and take pot shots at it like that.
Yep. Good transfuse by Scarlett, so MaSa buys a little bit more time. And there we see the fancy micro. It was old school pro. Illusion, that was the first guy to get Reddit karma for having done this.
Not going to work.
2 full bunkers and
Not going to do it.
3rd bunker with this many. Oh, derp. Nope.
Oh my gosh.
And that's your Rust and Parmesan moment for Scarlett.
Well,
I don't know what she's going to do to break this now. That's a huge commitment. Can she?
down to 1 sunken, or spine, excuse me.
Yeah. This hatch is going to die for sure. This one looks like it was in range of the bunker for a second there. The lings all get cleaned up. There's still 3 Marines coming out at a time. The hatch is going to die, which means the larva production gets cut. The queen production gets cut. GG.
Not even going to get there. GG. Wow.
2-0.
And I don't want to say Scarlett's the same kind of emotional player like we've had in the past with some of these others, but 2-0 by 2 proxy barracks in a total of like 10 minutes tops, that can unravel even some of the sturdiest of minds. Yeah. Scarlett might be, I mean, it's kind of weird to go too far down this path, but she could be, yeah.
She's defeated already. In her mind, she knew there was little to be done.
She would say stuff like, man, it's weird to lose like that while being, you know, favored against that player.
Yeah, losing, and it's, even though she has what it takes to still win 3 games in a row, now you have to be worried about this cheese. You can't make any more mistakes because you're down 0-2. And MaSa, we know that he can play longer games. It's not like...
Right. It's not like he has to win this way.
Yeah, he doesn't have... He's not like... I mean, to make this comparison not as like a derogatory way of saying it, but he doesn't have to do like what No Regret does, where he's like, I have to all-in you again if I want to have a chance. MaSa could sit back and be like, this is the game I'm going to go, like, command center first, super greedy, and if you catch me for it, whatever. But if you don't, I have a huge edge and I can just kill you. Yeah. So this is, you wouldn't be happier if you're MaSa. You're up 2-0 against an opponent that looked good earlier. That is very scary. Yeah, and we're going to Blackpink.
All right.
So pretty balanced map either way, I'd say.
The lights. Aziz, the lights.
All of the lights.
All right. Well, I hope we get to the next game pretty quick because we're good commentators, but to talk for 5 minutes about what just happened so far, we would have to be like GSL level commentators. You need Nick talking Battletoads to get there.
We need a good conversation about which other video game character would be the equivalent of
what do you play
3
these
racks.
days, Nate? That's also a Blizzard product because we can't talk about other games.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you checked out, have you been, that Overwatch game, right?
Yeah, there's like people and they're watching over things, I guess. Yeah, real time, not strategy. But I don't have any analysis to break down in this series because nothing actually happened. We're just waiting for, I guess, the players to ready up, and then we'll jump into the game. But there's not a whole lot to say. It's cheese. It's working. Right. Scarlett's response just doesn't seem to be there.
It's hard, though. So let me ask you that, actually. What is it that you do? With the 3 SCVs showing up, do you immediately do what Scarlett did and go, okay, Natural's dead. I go straight to Ravagers.
I don't know that that's the best response, but after the way that Cyril did it, it just worked so well. I'll also say that it was the 2 racks into Factory that was done against
More
Cyril,
standard
not
version.
the 3 racks like mega bunker push.
But even the 3 racks, I think it's better to go Ravagers.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
As well. But Scarlett seems to be like, I can deal with this with Lings, and MaSa's like, no, you can't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not so cut and dry because Scarlett's a very cerebral player. If it was so cut and dry, she would know better than us. But in retrospect, looking at these...
It's happening again, by the way.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
This guy, who just wants to cheese all day, in the bottom left, the blue Terran, he's up 2-0. He's MaSa. And the person who's been getting proxied a ton, down 0-2. She may just be eliminated off of this, but she's going for a gas pool. Instead of expanding, she's Scarlett.
The guy that made the music for a lot of StarCraft is no longer at Blizzard. I'm just saying, if you're listening, StarCraft, and you're thinking...
You want to bring in Nate and Jeff and have us do a duet for you.
Yeah.
I would gladly do it.
We're plugged into the most recent memes. This is the 3 Barracks version too, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just going to do the same thing again. The absolute madman.
No regret's called No Regret, but man, MaSa here.
We should just change his name to No Shame, right? Just
No Shame.
Start up the team. Team No.
Scarlett with a different take on this, though. She's saying, you know what? If this guy's going to do it twice, might do it 3 times. Speed, Ling, opening.
Yep.
And Nate, now look at me. You can't bunker rush a hatch that's not there. All right? Thinking. And he doesn't even wall in his ramp, by the way. So the Lings could possibly just run by if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
And then a queen plus any number of Lings at all defends.
This is so weird. All right, well, let's see what happens. This SCV was moved to look like it's coming from a normal scout, which is nice. So Scarlett is still going to send the Overlord. She's looking. She won't find the proxy with the Overlord. She won't find it with her Zerglings. The Marines are kind of being pocketed behind here.
It's going to get walled in.
And MaSa, the weirdest part about this is those Lings are going to show up. He's going to try to wall off at just the nick of time and then push while the Lings aren't there. But I don't really know. This really just comes down to whether or not Scarlett starts flooding out Lings as soon as she can.
Yeah.
Because if she does, she should be able to overwhelm the Marines.
Oh, absolutely.
But if she decides to just like build a bunch of drones or get supply blocked somehow, then she could die. Her Overlord's about to finish, and it's drones coming out. So let's see. These Marines are going to find an Overlord, which should supply block Scarlett.
Can it hide?
Nope, not here.
Not there?
No.
Okay.
And look at this, 2 SCVs left here. I hope these are on auto repair. No, okay, well.
Well, either, I mean, she knows.
Yeah, the important thing is that MaSa can keep the Lings out. Gets the queen that came down to the other base.
I can't believe he's still going for this.
Oh
That's
my God.
so funny.
Well.
And this is, I know Scarlett, this is killing her. Like, the idea that he's still bunker rushing after seeing Speedlings leave
he's gonna move
is
the barracks.
Absurd.
He's gonna move the barracks to wall her into
The bunker finishes. She's dead again.
Yeah.
Like, with the queen pickoff, if she had the second queen down here, I could start to believe. Oh my God.
The absolute
You gotta be kidding me.
All of the drones come down to help break this so that Scarlett can save her natural.
She does.
And she
Does
will
save the
be
natural.
able to clean this up.
She's lost 9 drones, by the way. Down to 10 workers.
And what did it cost?
Everything. I'm not feeling so good, Nathanius.
Well, the Overlord can see the ramp. The Lings are going to go for the counter. There is nothing here that can build stuff. So it behooves Scarlett to let these Lings sit here and fight for as long as MaSa doesn't have units.
That's a problem.
She's going to cause a lot of damage. MaSa had a slight worker advantage, but several SCVs are being used to build stuff and also repair.
Oh, this is going to take a while. I mean, this is just nice.
That's just gravy.
What do you repair at? What's the rate?
How did these two? What? Okay, these 2 Marines just showed up.
It's MaSa.
Die, alien! Nope.
That's when the Lings are accidentally specifically like A-clicked and it hits the queen. They just one-tap her and she's like, nah! The queen's of this! And she just blows up. Sorry, Mark. That's the one for today. You have to take it or leave it when you hire Jeff in Control Robinson here, okay?
All right, the Hellion is out.
Zach, you don't even know that was me. It could have been Nate.
Yeah. You don't know what that sound effect sounds like.
That's
when I
right,
make it, Jeffrey.
And I hope to never know. That's all right. So Scarlett saves it. With the Zerg production, she is actually over in workers at this point in time. She was down to 10. She's up to 26. Having to float the barracks all the way over here, do we safely say Scarlett is, I mean, she's 20 supply up. She's pretty ahead, right? Now, 16 of that is Ling army, right? But
yeah.
Still. But still. She's ahead.
She's got to be happy. This is the best start to a game that we've had because the game went past 5 minutes. So I will agree with you.
I love what this does to her. Like, let's assume she goes on to win. She has to think to herself, does this SOB do it again a 4th time?
Yes.
Literally, Speedlings ran by, and he still was like, I'm going to bunker rush this fool. And it almost worked.
Oh, I totally expect MaSa to, if this went all the way to game 5 and then we had a draw.
Just all of them?
And there was a 6th game, he would still do it.
Well, she's going to be convinced of that now. So next game, does she open up 1 base speed like that? And what?
Probably.
MaSa has the potential to just do CC first if he wants to?
Probably. Because if she does it fast enough, then maybe he'll be on the low ground and she'll catch him off guard.
He's
and then the shoe will be on the other foot.
And I'll climb to the mountain with your body. I would have built a lair at the natural, by the way. Just saying.
I love that reference, by the way, Jeff. People don't get that one often enough.
No, almost sure. If you were Fear Dragon, you would not have gotten that reference.
Yeah. So Hellions, Medevac. We've seen the Hellion drop before. Or this could actually be... Wait. Is it already done building? Okay, no. I'm expecting an armory to get added now. And he's just, what, you just drop the Marines, use the Hellbats. We've already seen this a few times this week. Or in Challenger, I guess.
Yeah. Lair? Do you think it's Mutus again? Did she try that? No, double Evo. No.
Double Evo.
No.
I would more expect her to just, she's just gonna go like
upgraded melee Lings, I think.
Yeah, it could be like the 1/1 like roach shove, but I would more expect these like a couple safety roaches, move into Hydraling Bane.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to do that, of course, but just depends on how many roaches she wants to build.
I do like how safely she's taking her 3rd. Like, she didn't rush out to it because she's like, oh, I'm a Zerg, I need my 3rd base, otherwise I'm dead. She muscled up with the drones, got a good queen count. This is a good, safe follow-up, I think.
Yeah. MaSa could have committed a lot more to this aggression. I like the Lings just kind of spread out. They feel out this medevac, so she knows what's going on, but will the Hellions still get any drone kills?
Not a single one.
Well, actually, a single one right there. But yeah, just one.
Oh, it doesn't say. It's waiting till the attack.
It doesn't show the counter until you kill 2.
So 4.
There you go.
With that 1 volley. Was it worth it though, Nate? And what did it cost you?
Everything.
What are they laughing about?
You know, they say to win a game of StarCraft, sometimes you have to throw away that which you love most. MaSa really loves Hellions, okay?
Chuck it off a cliff at least.
Yeah.
Some rocks.
I mean, there's a cliff right here, you know?
Could do it. Goodbye, my drones. Ugh.
Well, it is road speed in 1-1, and there's no Hydra Den, so I'm starting to think, and I think because there's no real upgrades for MaSa, this should do an insane amount of damage, because at that 1-1, the Roaches are going to absolutely destroy these Marines in a straight-up fight, especially if she could find a way to hit before combat shields, but that upgrade researches pretty quickly, so I'm not sure it'll be a factor. But yeah, the Roach Flood's coming out.
Coming out. Hellions circling around for the run-by, but they're going to get spotted at the tower.
Yeah, she wants to break down these rocks so that she can reinforce a little bit faster. This gets awkward because the Marines are walking around the side. And they're going to go right over to the main base, so possibly try a Hellion run-by now. If these Hellions should spot the Roaches.
Happy to do it, too. The army's out in the middle of the map, and you're going for a big drop in the main.
Yep, and this should get some serious work done.
Going to force a recall of those Roaches for sure, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, I would slam that recall button so fast. These Hellions should get some drones. The double drops in the main. That's going to be rough. Now there's 2 siege tanks to blast these Roaches down.
No,
Scarlett
not like this.
Taking a battering, even with these 1-1 Roaches.
Those upgrades, though, like every time they shot, they just killed a bunch of Marines.
Yeah, it's really nice, but the drone kills with this and the fact that her attack just completely fell on its face.
You know what you're supposed to be doing right now.
What am I supposed to do?
Looking at the supply.
The supply.
Look at it.
Yeah, but
look at it.
The supply is Roaches.
Yeah, but, you know, look at the supply.
You're saying look at the soup, and I'm like, Jeff, it's instant ramen. It's not real soup.
Whoa, you hating on instant ramen now, too?
Once you go to a real ramen place, your life will change forever.
So, in college, I used to pour salt in my ramen.
What?
Yeah, I know. I know now. At the time, I didn't. I thought it added some flavor to it. My friend said, you're basically pouring salt on salt. And I was like, no. And I Googled it, and I surely was. So, yeah, you don't pour salt on your ramen.
One packet has a year's supply of sodium.
I don't know how many years I just shaved off my life from doing that for, for all of college, basically. Tastes kind of good, though. I got to be honest with you.
You know, I don't doubt that. There's a reason why there's so much salt in everything. Hive tech on the way for Scarlett, so she's progressing forward with her tech. It's a meaty army, this many Roaches, but as the supply of bio increases...
Taking a third's a bold...
It's tough.
I mean, you got to. It's not like you don't do it.
Yeah, he needs to take this third, but you're right. It is vulnerable to this many units. I think if Scarlett would have mixed in a few more Ravagers and just tried to poke off the side, that's the hard part about this map, is you have to be concerned for this left side where everything is mostly positioned. But your right flank's totally exposed. This tank can't hit. If Ravagers just come here and just start dropping biles like they're hot, there's not a whole lot MaSa can do without committing his army.
Yep. Loading up a drop for Marines. Also on the production tab, we're seeing development tier 2 as Scarlett is adding Hydras to the mix. So it's not going to be just the Roaches.
Not just Roaches. There's the scam. Taking down some creep tumors. Clearing up the map. It's getting nice and dirty. Gets an overseer too.
Nice and dirty. Oof.
Picks off the drone going for the south.
Marines are just gunning down everything.
6 Vipers are on the way. The drones are pulled very quickly off this expansion, so MaSa's not going to be able to grab those. But if he focuses the hatch, should be able to get it. Easy,
the hatch is not feeling so good.
Yeah, no, not at all. And there's that base fully saturated now, taking the gas. Going to need to see a 4th command center started up soon. 6 Vipers. First bio, it's not as amazing, but considering the short range of the Marines and the short range of the Roaches, it'll force them into those units a little bit more effectively.
3-3 for our Zerg player, by the way.
Yeah, we don't normally see a Zerg player ahead on upgrades of Terran, but MaSa has, that's where he's kind of dropped the ball because he only built 1 engineering bay at the start.
He's going to be 2-1 for a significant chunk of time, while the Zerg's going to be on 3-3. Yeah. Pretty significant. That
denies
second
the
armor's there.
Without a cancel, so actually just straight up kills it. Drones are exposed. MaSa gets 6 of them before loading up, and I'd say that's a really good pickup now.
Oh yeah, equal in workers now. This is what MaSa does really well, which is what the Roach choice kind of gave me pause. Like, you're basically saying you are going to have air superiority. You don't need to be worried about it. And MaSa, that's what he does well in the TVZ matchup.
MaSa's very good in these situations.
Scarlett's pulling up the brakes, though. She's adding a Spire here. She's just about maxed out, so she might do some kind of attack, but I think she's pretty... Well,
in this situation, the Vipers are like...
Vipers.
It's weird, because if she had Hydras, then it's like, yoink, yoink, there you go, 20, or maybe like 12 supply dead.
Yeah.
But here's the big opportunity. Just start grabbing the tanks. Yeah.
Up into the high ground you go.
Hello.
Up closer to the high ground you go.
Come for a magical ride through the sunset.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well,
in this scenario, Jeff, those units are being pulled up the cliff.
Yeah. Not bad. Some more Hydras squeaking out here. And Scarlett just re-expands her there, too. That's the nice thing about being at max workers and maxed out for the most part. Picking off those bases is nice because it fights the bank, I guess, but it's not the biggest of deals, right? You're like, if that's your third base or your natural and it's earlier in the game, it's a huge deal. But as it is right now,
Yeah. Trying to use the Marines to bully back those Vipers, needs to keep them in place. I mean, these Marines could almost engage this army if they get just a little bit closer. Because the whole point is to just have these Marines far out ahead enough.
Just the one medevac, though.
That you can keep the Vipers away.
I'd otherwise agree with you, but the one medevac.
Yeah, because you keep sending them all to do these drops.
Yep. It's the old Korean Terran problem. They dropped so much that the main army would never have any medevacs.
What are you doing? Uh-oh. Wow, that's a huge pickoff. Half the Vipers eliminated by a squadron of Marines that are about to die from overuse of these drugs.
Killed 33% of the Vipers there. It's incredible.
That's great. Thank you for the number crunching.
Yeah.
Phil.
Well, that's what I do. They call me the number guy.
Do they though?
They do.
Greater Spire on the way. So there's that. I'm surprised there's no Baneling Nest, considering that MaSa's not even building Marines. Or Marauders, excuse me. Yeah.
I get what you're saying. It's okay.
I mean,
she comes from
Broodlings.
humble beginnings, though, right? Like
Well, she's gotten proxy Marine quasi all-in every game this series.
Things like that will slip out. 6 Broodlords, by the way. 6.
Yeah.
Your tanks aren't going to help you too much there.
I think with the Marine count, though, as the amount of bio increases, honestly, MaSa should be able to A-move through most of the Roaches and Hydras with this force and then get under the Broodlords, because there's no AoE to deal with the Marine count. Like, unless Scarlett lands some really nasty fungals, or MaSa somehow lets his tanks blow his own Marines up because of the Broodlords, which is possible because he doesn't know that they're there yet.
Blinding Clouds. That's what I think is going to do it.
Maybe. Actually, the medevac count is
and only 2 medevacs, so every stim is like you're getting one-shotted.
And this is how you kill the Marines. Okay, there you go. The tanks.
This is how you kill Marines. You get Terrans to do it.
Yep. Okay, well, that went about as badly as it could have for MaSa on the way out. He stims.
Load up for a 3-tank drop. I kid you not.
Tanks grabbed.
Nate, show it. There's a 3-tank drop going on.
That's only funny because you can only fit 2 in the medevac, but okay.
Well, there was another medevac, but it died or something.
That's bad, man. All right, well, MaSa pulls back. He's got that 4th base. He did hold on to it. That went about as well as it could have. You had MaSa over-stimmed twice, then the Broodlords got the shots off, and these Marines, which have no health, mind you, he's building Vikings, so he can't.
And a Thor.
He's not even going to be close to being able to heal this. Did he stim again?
Yeah, take a run around that corner.
Okay, yeah, MaSa's dead. Perfect!
The timing on that was sick. You both synced up your Terran minds. There's like some kind of weird communication, but he's stims, runs around the corner, and goes, no, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm out of tomfoolery here.
All right, another series that's not a 3-0 in control.
Hey, all right, Scarletts.
All right.
It was for 1 second there when MaSa went up that ramp and bunker rushed anyways. I was a little bit worried. I was a little bit worried for how mean Scarlett could possibly get. She's a nice gal, but you know, she's had some choice words in the past. But if you bunker rush after that opening and it works, I would have just I'd be like, I'm going to take a couple days off of Twitter and let this one cool out.
I'm wondering if I'm just waiting for it to happen this game too.
Yeah. It almost worked in the worst case scenario for it.
MaSa had a lot of things going well for him that game, but I guess the big mistake was tunnel visioning, not really considering the late game option. Because really, the Broodlords were so effective because they blindsided him. If you see those Broodlords and you have that many tanks with your Marines, well, first of all, the Marine healing thing was a huge problem that's outside of everything, and that had an awful impact on the game. But those siege tanks aren't that sort of threat. Because there's no banelings, you don't need the tanks to even be in siege mode. when you have a maxed out Marine tank army and your opponent has like Roachid Broodlord,
Yeah.
you can A-move through that. The Broodlings also don't do damage because Scarlett didn't even have +1 at that point.
Yeah.
So.
Agreed.
But,
That's what Broodlings can do.
Now, looks like we're going to go to a short break. When we return, the next game of our second semifinal.
This poor town has seen its share of trials. Now we face a new force, sinuous and vile.
The way ahead is haunted, our hackles stand on end.
We'll make our stand right here, our choice is crystal clear. We are the beasts, the monsters fear.
Salutations and welcome back to the World Championship Series StarCraft 2 Challenger Edition for North America. Is there any other titles I can add to that? Can I make it longer? I'm Nathanius, and I've been joined by In Control.
Yeah.
The greatest Protoss on Earth in my head. To finish casting this non-Protoss matchup.
Yeah. Well, that's the tactical flexibility some of us multi-dimensional commentators offer, you know?
Which other dimensions do you operate in?
All of them. The third, the fourth, and even the ninth dimension. Yeah.
It's over my head.
Well, a lot of things are, I guess, right?
Sadly, yes. We got ourselves a 2-1 situation between MaSa and Scarlett, where MaSa leads the series. And he's gone for proxy Marines every game. He's going to do it again. I'm just going to assume he'll do it again. We're going to Backwater, a map I like for Terran, but, I mean, it's also a map that he's going to 2 rags, or 3 rags, one of the two.
I mean, you do it 3 times in a row.
You got it.
Now it's like,
now you're
there's not even a
committed.
saying for that. There's not like a full, you know, nope.
Yeah.
4th time.
Fool me 5 times, you're... I don't know. Okay.
At least Scarlett
We had a
has to
fun
be
day.
certain that this is about to happen. And that's the power that MaSa has. Because then there's this weird thing, too. Think about this. Say Scarlett wins this game and MaSa doesn't do it. Does he return to it for the last game?
No. Maybe.
Oh,
They're talking in chat. Scarlett says proxy 4-ax this game. And
forehead.
Yeah. Forehead emote. If you guys want to use that in chat, it's forehead from Scarlett. Yeah, 4-ax sucks. I don't do it anymore. There you go. Now they're talking about a DJ set.
They seem to be pretty friendly. That's the funny thing. Like, if you guys don't know MaSa very well, he's kind of a quiet guy. He's always been cheesy and aggressive, but kind of unlike other players where if you're cheesy and aggressive, you get made fun of or people are like kind of mad about it. MaSa, you just can't. He's too nice. He's too quiet.
I was saying he's untrollable. You can be mean to him, and he's just like,
oh, it sounds like a personal problem. Like, what?
Yeah. It's like,
too bad you feel that way.
Sorry, you're having a bad day.
Yeah.
And that's it.
He's Canadian and Korean. Like, it's just too friendly of a mix.
Yeah. So Scarlett says, well, the 4-ax isn't as good as the 3-rags, but it's still good. Okay, there you go. We're loading in to Backwater, where MaSa is 1 game away from moving on to the grand finals to face off against our Lord and Savior Neeb. By the way, he's doing it, just so you know. We've already, the game has begun. Let me
predictions.
Flip things so that production can get into gear. So we have an SCV crossing the map. The man with no shame. He is MaSa. And his opponent, who's gone for very fast gas and probably a very fast pool because she's realized that this dog doesn't learn new tricks. She is Scarlett.
I mean, now I want it to go to Game 5 just to see if someone literally in all 5 games, because we've heard of it. You know, you've heard of best of 3s where like, yeah, that guy did it twice in a row.
Yeah, I thought MaSa was going to send out a second SCV with it. This one's very different, though. This is just going to be 1 proxy Reaper, most likely.
Maybe get an over-investment from her?
Yeah, I think that's what you're hoping for.
Scare her a little bit?
Yeah, maybe you're hoping that she'll send like a drone scout or something like that. Of course, that's not happening. But this gas would be too fast either way. So it's going to be a proxy Reaper. And I don't know that really gives you a whole lot, because Scarlett going pool first means that she will have a queen before a Reaper is out, and she's going to have lings. So the Reaper should not do anything except keep the lings at home, because it would be able to kill the lings. So if she moves too many of them out on the map, then it could become a bit of a problem. Wait, no, he's not. It's not a Reaper. He's going to make it look like it's a proxy Marine.
Most assuredly.
Okay, well, this won't do anything. So Scarlett's going to be feeling pretty good that she can defend against it, but that's not really what it is. And she still starts the hatchery, so she's not too committed, but she is only building Zerglings. So if that's what MaSa wanted, he's going to get it.
This is like the kind of thing that I would do where it's like, this feels really cute. It sends out misinformation, but what she's doing doesn't care. So you're like over here like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I sold it. But she doesn't care.
Finding the racks would be nice. The Reaper should still be able to get out unless he really messes up the control here.
Yeah, but speed's about to finish, so if it doesn't make a beeline for safety, it's just going to get ran down.
Could hide. He could hide in this little alcove. It's about the only spot that's nearby. Well, the rest of the Lings are actually all by MaSa's base, where he's walled off with the command center, has the factory coming in. And this Reaper is going to try to get back home as speed kicks in. Will he be able to make it?
Tell my kids! Sorry, that was number 2. Nate, don't do that.
He didn't say anything?
No, he died before he could.
Oh.
That's the drama of it. It's really sad.
That's not even a last breath. That sucks. All right, Starport on the way.
And Hellion coming out. That's interesting.
Yeah.
To drop Hellions, I guess. We already saw that before. This is the most normal opening in Game 4 here of these two battling. So
she's like undecided on how to move the... Oh, did you see that? So sick! Canceled the orbital, loaded the SCV, brought it back inside. So MaSa just spent about 38 minerals, I can't do math, to save the SCV.
33% of what it normally costs.
Thank you, Dr. Professor in Control.
Yep.
Viking on the way, though. And tech.
Did he cancel the meta? Oh, he didn't even start it. Okay.
No. Just wants to poke around on those overlords that are...
Only one over there.
Yeah.
Actually.
Just the one overlord, actually.
Which is like a nice move, and usually what you do is you make your way over to the Zerg main to then clear out the overlords that are spotting for drops. So it's still obviously always cool. But I see Scarlett distancing herself here. The worker production is going to be through the roof. She's already taking her 3rd. And Queens and Lings are going to be enough to hold off what MaSa's cooking up here. So,
ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
That's crazy.
So this should be Liberator range rush. You can use Liberators to block off areas like here. You can put a Liberator here, and it shuts down like 2 of these mineral patches. And then Queens have to go all the way up to be able to hit them.
Yeah, and if you put a second...
This is the best map. This is the best map for me. And then if you put 2 Liberators there, like, you can't break it. You can also put a Liberator here and cut off the very back of the main mineral patch as well.
Brutal.
Yep. And then later on, you can do it here on this base. And there's like kind of a... You can almost kind of get the gas from there, but not so well.
And it kind of forces a Spire, which in this meta right now has issues.
Yep. That's the big function of it. If you're playing, like most Zerg players don't go for a fast Spire. Unless you're metagaming the Terran, like unless you queue up and you see that you're getting matched versus someone like Nathanius on ladder where you're oh, this guy just opens with Liberators every single game. You don't just like blindly get a Spire. So if Scarlett does the normal thing and goes straight into like Hydras or something, then it could get ugly. Because clearing out those Overlords means that the Liberator shouldn't be spotted by anything on its way over to her base.
And she's not. It's going to be a Baneliness. She's doing a very macroeconomic opening here. So keep in mind what Nathaniel said, though. The Queens can reach them in these spots for the most part. It's just that it's a very awkward position. And it's going to be costly.
Spores can't reach them, which is the hard part. So to do this, you have to use Queens. And Scarlett's going up to 8 of them, so should be okay for the most part. You need to use transfuses to keep from losing anything, so that's like the ideal way to deal with this. Yeah. Is you basically just shove all your Queens in there, and unless the Terran player like is extremely aware of what you have available, you'll usually be able to get the Liberator or force it to pull back.
Ooh, it's mech behind this too, by the way.
Yep. But if you do 2 Liberators at once, then of course it gets really weird. So I like that MaSa's going for the main base, though. If he comes back here, you can get from this spot, which is the less common one, and he's going to hit with both Liberators at the same time. So it really understands how this works. And since Scarlett only has Lings on the map, even the Hellions that he's got will be able to get some work done over here, because what he's doing is pulling the Queens out, and Scarlett's about to realize she really needs those Queens here. So as you can see, 4 mineral patches denied. This Spore, nope, not in range, and this one's going to siege up here too.
And even the Queens that have to get in position to deal with that, it's not all the Queens. It's like 1 or 2 can fit in that space, I think.
Yep. You won't be able to shoot with all the Queens. The other ones are just going to be transfusing. So the Spore actually, he mispositioned that Liberator, so the Spore Crawler was able to take it down. But the drones that ran away from the mineral line are exposed, and MaSa firing up a nice barbecue in the back of this base. He's got some Hellbats being morphed off the back of that armory, and he can always try to retreat back here if he wants to pull some of the Lings in. Scarlett cleans it up, but 17 drones later is painful. And there's the transfuses. So will we be able to save it? Oh, nope.
Not today. Damage done, though.
Yeah, and this what you do next is, because this is the nicest part of this opening, is that for the rest of your game, even in any normal usage, it's like, wow, my Liberators actually have just absurd range now. So he'll be able to send out Liberators at any point in the game to harass, as long as there's not a Spire. The Spire is going to be done soon, so it'll be more about having it with the army. But following this up with Thors is great, because you know the Zerg wants to have a Spire to deal with those, and the Thors, even in their single target mode, they absolutely dump on Corruptors, but you can, of course, blow Mutalisks up with them as well.
Yeah. And it is going to be Mutas, but Scarlett's not all in on the concept. She's not going to make a million of them, I don't think. She's got the Hydra Den, Infestation Pit as well. So she's got the backup plan. The other good thing about this map, though, too, is the 3 bases for Mech is pretty locked down.
And the
pushing out to your 4th is very easy.
Yep. That 4th base being so easy to take is absolutely cannot understate the value of that.
Oh, this is the map that we saw in GSL that Tasteless kept describing as valueless.
Value-us, right? Like valueless.
Well, we're not sure because they're both not words, but
yeah.
It's either valueless or valueless.
And the Mutalisks are out of the game.
Well, those two for sure.
So, I mean, this push has potential. 10 Hydras are coming out, though, so I actually think that Scarlett should be able to defend this. Between the Mutalisks. Even if the Mutas just die, just getting the Thors to shoot them and not the Hydras is a pretty nice pickup. The upgrades for the Mech, though, I really like how he's moving along very briskly with these, straight into +2 attack, giving his units as much damage as possible.
Kind of a weird attack.
Yeah, that's why I like the Hydras, because I don't think MaSa's anticipating the Hydras to be out this fast, and if he loses the Thors, then he's really in trouble. But I think what you should do is, yeah, just pick these up and just get out of there. These Hellbats are kind of... Well, the Hydra speed upgrade isn't done, is it? No, okay. So the Hellbats should probably be able to run away. The Thors get a really nice high ground position here, too. They 2-shot the Hydras, so just as long as he fights off creep, he can still kind of poke.
He's just kind of relegating himself to this is what they're going to do for now. Muta's making their way into the Terran main, by the way.
Yep. Right over to that I guess the 4th command center gets delayed. No turrets, by the way. So SCVs are just going to start getting knocked down. This is like that weird thing that you catch yourself in. He probably attack moved these medevacs back home with the Thors, but can't do anything because they get caught on the AI of the Hellbats.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In this situation, this is going to sound really weird, but the 18 SCVs don't really matter because MaSa still has 63. Well,
yeah.
He had 60. So he actually overbuilt SCVs pretty significantly. And when you're playing Mech, it doesn't really hurt to do that because your ramp up is mostly based off of your gas units. So you're kind of trading out supply as you take bases to get that gas.
Yeah, you can kind of go to each base and see that he actually has more SCVs than needed.
Yep, Scarlett's kind of doing a similar thing as well. She's at like 90 drones to completely saturate all these bases because she wants to get that bank up. 6 Vipers are on the way, a lot of Hydras, and some Banelings. I do like the Banelings to help soften this. This is where that Liberator upgrade being in earlier really helps, though, because you're going to make it very difficult for the Hydras to engage if you siege that in time. Oh, one Thor actually gets grabbed there.
Just dies for free.
It's very hard to get onto these Liberators, and you're going to force abducts on Liberators instead of Blinding Clouds. So the army, it's not as easy to deal with this army just using the Vipers as this base gets picked off.
The tanks on the high ground, too.
Yep.
Crazy difficult position.
Note the spread on the tanks. You're not going to be able to blind more than one. There's an abduct on a tank, pulls in a medevac. And of course, let's not forget that dropping those Hellbats onto these Hydralisks should also be devastating.
If you can get there. It gets to a certain number of Hydras and, like, you can lose the medevacs before. But this should... Yeah, well, we'll see. Scarlett's going to move over here. She wants to hold on to the space.
And now we have the Thors in their single target mode, trying to get a little bit of a peppering onto those forces, the Vipers. The Hellbats get dropped onto the Roach Hydra and are cleaned up pretty quickly. The Thors cutting down the Viper count a little bit, but the siege tanks don't seem to be enough to stop the Zerg forces up here just yet. Now that the Hellbats have been cleaned up, the buffer is gone, and Scarlett will mop up this army.
While holding on to the 5th base, even taking top right, really well done. The one kind of glimmer of hope that we have for MaSa here is that he is secured on his 4th base and even going towards his 5th. So if he can somehow rebuild and lock up between those two spaces, a 5 base mech, pretty powerful.
Yeah, I think the real issue here, when these mutas continue to run around, is that the anti-air is all gone. So these, I mean, well, unless these Hydras kill themselves, the Vipers should be able to just come over here and just start abducting things.
Pick things off.
Yeah, even if you build, like, there's not enough starports. Not enough starports to get a bunch of Vikings out, so you can also just abduct the Vikings too.
Yeah.
You've got enough Vipers that you just use them. Just use them as much as you possibly can. And these mutas, being extremely annoying, have shut down a refinery and this whole mineral line so far.
So the Hellions get some damage in, but what's really important is they saw the Corruptors coming out. So if you ever were wondering when Broodlords are going to start showing up, you now know, right?
Soon,
there's no question.
Soon, TM. That Greater Spire is ready to rock and roll. MaSa's expansion here, probably, yeah, can pick this off. If she steps forward enough, she'll be able to grab that command center without too much issue. Another big Hellion attack is going out. It's nerve-wracking though, because these Hydras will usually want to get on top of that army, and the Hellbats are kind of what keeps you from doing that, but I guess Broodlords will also get the job done too. We have that transformation being used. No servos upgrade, I don't think, so it's not quite as effective as it could be. But since there's nothing here to kill them while they're transforming.
9 Broodlords.
9 Broodlords, command center just blew up in the air.
And there's like a Raven or two coming out, but just by themselves.
The anti-air presence is pathetic at this point.
Yeah.
The Thors can kind of do the job, but these siege tanks are gonna, just like that bio game earlier, the siege tanks are gonna take the first wave. They're gonna kill themselves because of this friendly fire. And then the Vipers are gonna abduct the Thors. That's the ideal scenario way. That's the movie way that this plays out for Scarlett.
No, I don't see it going either way.
There's just not enough to deal with this. You can abduct everything that can kill you right now. Parasitic bomb on the Vikings. So they're just gonna remove themselves from the field. There's the abducts.
And the abducts.
And that's, yeah, that should be all she wrote. There's nothing here that can kill this. That Thor is not gonna save the day. Sorry,
60 supply advantage. Most of that is in army. Thor's down. The pathetic anti-air is now non-existent. The planetary fortress. You can repair it. You can hold on to it for a while if you like. But to what end?
The anti-armor missile is not that good.
Yeah, not by itself.
No, you need about 20 more of them. Then you blow up the whole army. GG.
GG, and this is all tied up.
This is the first time
we did it
since yesterday when we started doing the finals for WCS Challenger. We finally have a game, finally have a series go to 5 games. Even the grand finals yesterday didn't go to 5 games.
MaSa said that he accidentally left without saying GG, by the way, in case, because I know that for some people they're like, wow. No, he meant to.
Yeah.
They're all friends here in North America is the unfortunate part. We don't have, we need the really good villain, the Idra or something like that, the one where maybe there is some words. It's kind of fun sometimes. Like, to get out of the game, like, you don't deserve it. Like, really? Because I beat you, like, you don't deserve it.
Well, the character that did that lost in the 2-hour game for the qualifier to NA, so.
Yeah, but I said
maybe
really,
next time.
I said really good, though. It's different. But we are heading to Game 5, and we did say that Scarlett winning 3 in a row would be really hard, but man, building up to a great grand final, would that be awesome to do?
So the next map is Neon Violet Square. Where do you think he'll build the proxy racks on this map in Control?
Well, he has to, right? Because it's been all 4 games so far, even though this one was like a fake one.
Yeah, he still
which by far was the worst option, by the way.
If he had done it for real, he totally would have died way earlier, but...
Does Scarlett Neon? What map is it?
Neon Violet Square.
Good macro map. I'd like him to just straight up not do it this time because I think he can be reasonably sure.
I'd like him to play a straight up game here. I mean, I'd also like to see Mech. You can really do that strategy where you go into the late game with the Ravens very easily on this map. You have access to so many resources. Although, to be fair, I would have said the same thing about Backwater. So, and that map is honestly easier to get the 4th base.
Well, I just mean you don't proxy, and Scarlett probably does the fast gas, fast pool to counter what you would probably do with the proxy. And it's not that she's way behind, but it's not what a Zerg wants to be doing, right? So then you just do like CC first behind a wall or something.
Yeah.
Definitely not low ground CC.
I do think that it would be amazing if MaSa just did some normal macro opening and Scarlett did the same. I think that would be... I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the part where they're both mind gaming each other to the point where they're like, all right, we're both gonna play normal.
They just like cross their legs and start floating and ascending beyond.
Yeah. Yeah. They both they launch their Kamehamehas at each other and just starts going back and forth.
All right. Game 5 it is, the first of its kind.
In to determine our second grand finalist here at the World Championship Series, North America.
Zombie Scarlett versus Golden MaSa, as pictured. Look at that music.
I'll leave you hanging on that one. We are loaded in. It is time to find out who will do battle with Neeb, the hero of North America,
Oh, jeez.
savior of our kind. In the top left, spawning as the red Zerg player. She is Scarlett. And the man who is, yes, literally proxying for the 5th game in a row. It's MaSa.
This is a real one, though.
Oh yeah.
And you know what Scarlett's not doing?
It's like, I
Oh,
can't believe,
there's the guess.
I can't believe it is Butter in control.
Yeah. I like that reference.
I got you.
I can't believe they made a margarine or like a non-butter product and called it I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah.
Literally advertising what it isn't because what it is so different.
Than what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's just, I love that we live in this world where that happens.
Yeah. I can't believe it's not a real observer.
It's like calling a cat like I can't believe it's not a dog, you know? People are like, oh no, cats are cool. And they're like, no, I mean, I'm sure they are, but it's not a dog, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just so you know, that's the name of our.
Can't believe it's not milk. What is it? I don't know.
Now made.
Oh, the Overlord's over here though.
Yeah. Scarlett, is she going to see it? Did she see the SCV? I think she saw the
Saw the SCV, and that came from a weird spot.
Yeah. So Queen's on the way, Lings are on the way, and the Marines are coming. There's the bunker.
Oh my god.
Here we go. Here we go again.
She's got speed start up, but speed's not the answer to this. It's just like a. Oh, it's just not the answer.
And look at this. Creates the door with the 2 bunkers to say that, so that
Can
the
you
Lings
fit to the right of
they
that?
can't even run in. No. I've
Saying
walled.
that.
I have walled enough times on this map with a building here.
There we go.
So just forces the cancel. Is she gonna go for the gold and then use the link
Yeah.
to protect it?
And now speed really does make sense.
Yep, I like this. I like it a lot.
She's elevated.
Yeah. So now does he try to like block the bottom of the ramp?
And it's triple barracks, no gas, by the way. So there's no factory behind this. This is a big investment.
Yeah. The gas is being taken much later. So
With
this
12
isn't
SCVs.
there's no quick follow-up here. MaSa's limited his own economy. Going up this
Nah,
ramp.
not today. Nope.
Maybe
Scarlett
you
has had
focus-
enough of your outside bases. You're not bases.
But if you know that Scarlett doesn't build the Ravagers, I guess you can't really. No, you can't really do
Runs
anything.
past it.
Yeah, just run past it because she has the goal.
Heck, it's even salvage, man. It's not even real anymore.
So Scarlett is just going to build Lings, and MaSa's like, I
Well,
can
I'm
still
buck
make
rushing
it work.
something.
I can do it. I mean, it's obviously not meant to be a real thing, though, right? This is cancel it. Didn't cancel
By
it.
the way, that Overlord by the barracks is watching as every Marine leaves,
Yep.
and that's a big deal. She knows where it is. She knows where it's coming
Now
from.
fighting inside the squares, the Zerglings cannot get surface area, so this is about as ideal as it could be for MaSa, as these Lings show up and the wall is still here. So Scarlett can't do anything other than build Zerglings in this weird scenario, but it doesn't matter because MaSa has nothing at home yet. So, yeah, this is a...
Oh, the Marines. And she's actually fight. So those Lings do nothing.
Yeah,
For the
I
most
don't know
part.
that I like that. I don't know that I like that.
She loses this hatch. It gets really weird again.
Yep. And MaSa's positioned himself very nicely in this choke. I don't know that the bunker is going to finish, but the Marines are able to fight in a favorable spot. And then you start a step to the left, and all you need to do is keep a few of these alive to get into the bunker, and they're there.
Oh my
So,
God. But she does get the SCV.
and she has some Lings with this Queen to support it. So, 2 more Marines actually coming up. Oh my God! If that random Marine, oh, get to the bunker! Wow, this is real life. This is really happening. This is
Oh, the Queen died.
got him.
No, not like this. This is not how the Blade of Queens goes down. And there's actually a factory behind this too, by the
Yep.
way. He's actually mined up enough
Yep.
gas to do that.
I can't believe it's not a gold base.
He's just making more Marines too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Lings out there.
This is amazing. Scarlett finally gets the Roach War, and that other Queen
She's
is
going
dead.
after a pointless bunker. Why?
Yeah, there's no.
Why are you fighting the bunker? And she looks at me and she goes, because I can. I'm like, no! Now's not the time.
So
She's droning. She thinks this fool MaSa is doing anything other than making more Marines.
yeah, the barracks never went home.
He's literally just still making Marines.
There's nothing here. He could just come in
She
and
has a queen. That's it.
drones, baby.
Welcome to North America, Scarlett.
And
You think he's making something else?
And this was the day that MaSa went full NA. She get a chance to use a drone. I'm waiting for it. These Marines
Oh my God.
lighting it up.
I can't wait for him to try to bunker rush the natural. Is it happening? Tell me it's happening. Only
Marine's
because
like, where's the bunker?
He's like, I only regret that I have but one bunker to give. It's probably like, he's going to start quoting dead presidents and stuff like that. Oh, Scarlett.
That's not what the 2 racks can do for you, but what you can do for your 3 racks.
She's going to come away from this game having experienced like StarCraft shrooms. She's like,
This is
Did he just-
traumatizing. 5 games in a row. Proxy racks.
literally traumatizing.
Yeah.
And look what he's doing to follow it up. Double CC.
I'm going to take a cold shower after this one.
Well, I'll join you. So weird. Don't make it weird. It's fine. 2 adult men. People do it in the gym all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The Hellions at the bottom of the, coming down to the bottom of the ramp. Going to clean up the Zerglings here. Scarlett did build a Roach Warren. She's got 2 Ravagers. This is her army.
Well, the game stabilizes a little bit, right? She's starting to make...
I'd be careful with that one. The Hellions could actually try to chase that one down. So this is an amazing position for MaSa, though, because he's already up to Cloak Banshees, which means that the Roach or Ravager, whatever, is already it's already obsolete, and there's no lair. So that means can't even start getting Hydralisks.
Well, at best, she makes Spore Crawlers to survive, which is already a cost to her.
And then let's not forget that the Banshees in this situation could also theoretically deny a 3rd base unless she takes the pocket in the back.
The tucked-in base, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also dotting the T's, crossing the I's.
And then MaSa goes on to get brutally slaughtered by Knee, probably.
Yeah. Sacrificial.
Just all
lamb.
this just to knock Scarlett out.
Was it worth it?
Neeb, I've done your bidding. He's like, good. You can die to my Psyblades now.
Your Marauders haven't been buffed quite yet. Good, sir.
Can't bunker rush a Protoss very well.
No.
You can, and I feel I shouldn't double down on that too much because maybe
MaSa will proxy
Does.
Rex the 4 games in a row that
2
Neeb
series.
smashes his face in. All right, Banshee's rolling on up. There's not even a Spore, by the way, so...
she might.
Awkward.
I mean, she can't GG because there's nowhere to go. It's game 5, but this is rough. She has a Spore there.
Well, Ruff would have 6 Banshees at this point, but...
Yeah. Had he not retired, I guess.
The Banshee's just gotten 7 drone kills.
Oh my God.
Not bad. There's the lair. Coming close to finishing.
She's holding on.
Yeah.
I feel like what Snoot would do here is just keep making queens, by the way, and I'm not even joking. Like, literally just have 7 or 8 queens to absorb whatever comes next.
Yep.
Not saying that's ideal. It's just
Using the Banshees to clean the creep tumors. MaSa's just like, I'm going to pin you so far inside your base. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The lair's done. Roach speed is coming in, but that means she has to get a Nidus network or start a Hydralisk.
just attack at the 3rd.
Where's the Hydralisk?
MaSa never stops.
Yep. Stim is almost done too, bringing Marines
And the
over.
Banshees represent an actual attack
There's no
threat.
Spore here yet either. MaSa cloak. There we go. Oh, the Overseer's there. Never mind. The eyeball monster. That's the sound effect the Overseer
It has
makes.
to.
Yeah.
What else would it say?
They patched it out in Wings Beta because people were too terrified of it. And the thing is, the Banshees soak up some of these shots that allow the Marines to finish off a couple of the Queens.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna say, get that queen back.
Yeah. These guys have Stim, but I guess at this point, it might harm more than help without any support.
Yeah. Wow. MaSa up to 3 bases. Ahead in workers. Ahead in army.
He's got his 1-1 coming in. Combat shields is on the way. He's getting an armory. More tanks, more
Scarlett's
racks.
holding on, though. Do we believe, Nate? Do we believe at all? It's only a 12-ish supply difference. It's about 33%.
Not yet.
2 of them.
I don't believe yet. Not yet.
Okay.
MaSa still has a little time to throw this game, but I definitely like his spot. Well, you know what? Maybe he's trying now. There we go. Second armory in control when he's playing with biological units.
Biological.
Yeah,
Switch.
I don't know. I don't know. Is he getting too cocky that he's potentially going to get armor upgrades for his vehicles?
Scarlett takes the pocket base back there.
Or what if he gets +1 attack for the Banshees or his future Liberators? Hard to say. 7 Overlords finishing, so Scarlett's getting out of a nasty supply block as the Marines killed another one over there. The Marines get an Ravager, pick up, get out of town. Not too bad. And these Marines are going to stem in towards the left side base and grab themselves a Queen. Yeah, the Queen is it.
And then she died.
Yep. And another one. Picks up and flies off. Pocket, that tucked in base, as you mentioned, being taken by Scarlett now.
How do Terrans not just always have a Raven, though? The anti-armor missile. If you make Banshees, how do you not have a Raven?
Raven is so good.
It's so good and fun, is what I would imagine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it.
Yep. Oh, I don't disagree. I build a Raven at the start of every game these days. I mean,
Just at any point.
there's really no situation where a Raven isn't useful.
It's the biggest force multiplier in the game, I would say.
Yeah.
Because that missile's radius hits a clustered army. It's like everything.
One anti-armor missile in the middle of the roach clump that Scarlett has, and these Marines are like, "Whoa, we've got +3."
It's a huge deal.
Yeah. The Banshee gets taken down, but these Marines, backed by siege tank support, they don't care. They're going to knock that down. Scarlett, she can only mine off the tucked-in base now for a third.
Well, MaSa's not letting room for Scarlett to breathe.
Well, he is trying to kill his own army with stim, so he's doing everything he can to make this even.
There we go. Scarlett fighting back here.
And here's the next army. So,
MaSa. The Hive, actually.
MaSa's going to try to drive the hammer in here next. His +2 is also close to finishing.
He has twice the army. Only one tank here, though, I would say.
Yeah.
But that's Scarlett's army.
Yep. And the Marines, once they get on top of these Ravagers, they're dead. Really, she's only stepping back because she's probably realized that MaSa will just keep pressing the stim key every time he moves forward without his units being healed or without stim having gone off cooldown. And he comes up, and he's like, all right, load up the medevacs, pull back to the tank.
He's just a stim addict, man.
This is still a good position to choke Scarlett out, though, because he's got the gold base on the left side. So he's just making a ton more money now. And all he has to do is keep denying this expansion. There's nothing that Scarlett can do. Yeah. She can't afford to build the army that she needs to kill him without this base.
She's fighting, she's holding on here. But it looks like MaSa senses the blood in the water, is going for it. Roach is trying to buffer for these Ravagers.
He's got the +2 now versus the +1 Carapace of Scarlett, which is helping him a ton. Really, he just needs to just keep sending out these waves. Be careful of the amount of stimming that you're doing. Yeah, play off this side too, because the drones are still trying to mine there. Inched up a few more of these tanks.
Whoa! I mean, a couple of Corrosive Biles hit.
Yeah, Vipers are on the way out now. More Marauders are being added to this army too, though, which is going to help so much versus the Roaches.
Oh, Liberators.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the door getting slammed.
Yep. The Vipers kind of like try, but nothing can actually kill the army that effectively. I guess you try to Blinding Cloud or abduct the tanks.
No, it's
but
50 supply difference now. And her army is just kind of a one-trick pony. Like, it is that abduct, but even without Hydras, abducting the Liberators is, like, not that much, right? It just displaces them, basically.
Yeah, because nothing can kill them, right? You're right. Good point. There's no Hydras, so.
No, this is it. MaSa pulling off the first upset of the weekend. Well, okay, Showtime maybe, but the biggest upset, I would say. And take himself to the finals. Not bad.
Liberator didn't unsiege when it got pulled. That's weird. But yeah, MaSa finishes killing everything. GG. And MaSa goes up to the grand finals to face off against Neeb.
5 games, 5 proxies. I mean, there's going to be some talking points on Reddit, I believe.
Yeah.
Follow Scarlett's Twitter. You should get some pretty good commentary on that. And this is kind of the dream start, because I've talked about them before, though, because the mind games of StarCraft are really rough. And if somebody opens up with a proxy like that, the fear is that they just keep doing it, but almost never that I can think of. We need Roddy for his memory, but I don't think anyone's ever actually done it. A best of 5, all the games with a proxy?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It harkens back to the old, what was it, the Hero versus SOS. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, we're just going to 2-gate each other every game. But
Boxer way back in the day famously did it against Yellow. I want to say it was the entire best of 5, but he 3-0'd him. And all 3 of the games were proxy. Well, they're bunker rushes. It was just like. But even that one, there's gonna be someone who's like, no, what are the game? It's like I can't. It was something crazy like that. But that was you're reaching 10+ years now to think about it. So well done to MaSa. I mean, we went into this. Nobody was talking about MaSa being in the finals against Neeb, and there he is.
it was supposed to be a Scarlett versus Neeb story, and that's not the way it's going to go. So we've got one more match to bring you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as we take another look at the schedule. It's going to be Neeb versus MaSa, a best of 7 of the ages here at WCS America.
And that's next. So get up, stretch your legs, grab a chalupa or something, but come back.
Grab your popcorn, dump a stick of butter in it, pour a bushel of salt on it.
It's going to be a TVP, guys, in the grand final, not a ZVP.
Yeah.
One of the first Terrans in the final since we had like Polton there and stuff like that, I think. As well.
Yeah. Get Roddy.
Different.
We need Roddy to, you know.
We always need Roddy. Everyone needs Roddy.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
So we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, the grand finale. It will be Neeb versus MaSa.